Really quick disclaimer, this is not meant to shit on Battlegrounds games or shit on these developers. It is just merely for a video enlisting why these games are unoriginal and just kind of bland to the gaming scene. So yeah, don't take this to heart. It's just my opinion. Okay, enjoy.
Roblox Battleground games are a problem. Hundreds of thousands of players every single day play these Battlegrounds games. But why? So we're going to take a deep dive into them and really find the real reason why people are so addicted to playing them. So from what I could find, the first ever Battlegrounds game is something called Teen Titans Battleground. It was most likely the first popular Battlegrounds game on Roblox. It was rebranded to T Titans Battlegrounds to avoid copyright. But if you play the game for a bit, you'll realize it is far from the current Battlegrounds games. It has basically nothing in common except, it's picking a character and fighting. It has no dashing, no blocking, and you have to grind and get kills to play other characters. So it clearly isn't what started this whole Battlegrounds plague. The Strongest Battlegrounds was first released as a sort of open testing place called Saitama Battlegrounds. It had a gray baseplate and a destructible brick wall and a dummy in the map. Later on, they added the second character, Garu, and made it early access for 400 Robux. Until one day the game got privated for copyright reasons, and then it was rebranded to The Strongest Battlegrounds, and reopened with a new map, which is the current one. This is when the game suddenly got a large boost in popularity, and the devs started to lock in and do a ton of updates, releasing characters fairly often every few months, and gaining a bigger player base as this happened. The success of The Strongest Battlegrounds led other developers on Roblox to follow the same trend and make similar games, therefore starting the Battlegrounds plague. At this point in time, there's way too many Battleground games to count and take note of all of them, so I will be mentioning a few prominent ones and their differences, but first off, we have to mention the key mechanics of these games. This is your basic way to fence from attacks, although of course there are moves that can go through it, Usually has an angle so that you can't block attacks that come from behind you. This is your basic combo starting, continuing, ending tool. How to incorporate combos and make them do more damage and whatnot. By holding space during the last M1, you can perform an uppercut, sending the opponent into the air and ragdolling them for a few seconds. Usually, you can use this to combo extend. You uppercut and then use a certain move, and it'll continue that combo. Because with certain moves, you are able to hit people while they're ragdolled. When hitting your last M1 mid-air, you can perform a down slam, ragdolling the opponent for a few seconds. Usually, this goes for block. This is mostly used for running or for dashing around the opponent to try to hit them behind their block. By pressing Q while you're ragdolled, you can instantly get up, usually allowing you to escape combos. Now we're going to be moving on to the prominent games and some of their details. This is your starter game, the first Battlegrounds game to really hit it off. It has fluent dashes, consistent blocking, good visual effects, good sound effects, and animations being the most detailed parts of the game. They also update pretty consistently, so that's a plus. It features a ranked mode where you can do 1v1s, 2v2s, and has a building mode and private servers, so you can kind of make a little map if you want. There's not really much to say about this game. It's just the strongest Battlegrounds, but Jujutsu Kaisen, it doesn't have too many features that make it stand out from other games. This is also pretty similar to the strongest Battlegrounds, but the combos feel really satisfying and the animations are really good. Also, the ultimates have like crazy impact frames and doing way too much, but you can also interact with the surroundings a little bit, but other than that, it doesn't really have too much standing out. Z Battlegrounds has cool VFX and pretty good combat. It doesn't really shine as much, but it's more like a jack of all trades. This has really good visual effects, sound effects, animations, finishers, and the combat is very fluid, which is very enjoyable. This game has quite a lot of potential. This is a very recent one that's also gained a lot of popularity for mainly its destruction physics, but the map is basic, the animation is alright and can look goofy at times. The sound effects, finishers, movement, fluidity, and finally destruction is in my opinion what makes the game so much more fun compared to other games that are following the same format. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth. The game has parkour, like some pretty cool movement tech. So, you know, like vaulting, climbing, and wall jumps. So you can do more cool like stunts and, you know, kind of feel like you're living in the anime or something. You can also build in VIP servers. I've seen some pretty cool stuff. The characters are decently balanced. Each character has like one thing that's kind of stupid about it, but you know, it always balances out as one's not too overpowered, and it gets pretty consistent updates. What really makes this game shine is when you play with your friends and fool around, because the game feels so alive. It feels like you actually have an impact on the map. It makes, you know, messing around and, you know, comboing somebody through a wall it just all is like a cherry on top. It's so fun. Obviously, eventually it will get boring, but I think I've had the most fun playing Jujutsu Shenanigans out of any other Battlegrounds game. And I might even make a whole video on that, just to go fully in depth. Jujutsu Shenanigans has the perfect amount of fun and goofiness while keeping the Battlegrounds aspect alive. While all these games are indeed enjoyable, they get boring kind of quick, and they're all very similar. But of course, people keep playing them, so developers will keep making them. And I think we need to break out of this trend as a platform and start making more unique and games, you know, stuff that's will get, you know, make the people like me have more fun on Roblox, you know. I want a fun game and some, you know, just something that will quench my thirst, you know. But really, I think it's not gonna happen anytime soon. There's definitely some potential coming up. Veilbound. Veilbound. But you know, developers will get their bag, and I guess you just gotta respect it. All in all, these Battleground games are mostly a result of devs wanting to hop on the trends to make money, which is understandable. You know, it's free money. So speaking of money, you guys should subscribe. I'm super close to 500 subs, so it'd be very appreciated. You know, I want to make money too, so yeah, thank you. There's many other Battlegrounds games, like there's the 7 Deadly Sins Battlegrounds game that came out pretty recently. In my opinion, that game was pretty bad. There was a solo leveling game that was also pretty bad. I joined and I instantly got 100 to 0 comboed. So I'm sure there's a lot more, but really it's, you know, it's all preference at the end of the day. And yeah. Goodbye.